Giving and receiving gifts is a big part of the holidays, but another part that's important is returning. Trey Bodge, a smart shopping expert for TrueTrade.com, is here. She's got the best practices for pain-free returns and what you can do if you wait too long. I've done that before. It's awful. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Give us your top tips, what we need to know about returning some unwanted gifts, things that don't fit, wrong size, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so the main thing to keep in mind is that every retailer has their own rules. And so before you go into the store or before you package something up and send it back, familiarize yourself with the rules of that retailer. The other thing that I would say is make sure that the item that you're returning is in as sellable condition as possible, because the easier you make it for the retailer, the better things will work out for you.
And is there a set time that we really have, or it just varies for every store?
It does vary for every store, but here's something to keep in mind. Most retailers offer extended windows. So for instance, if you bought someone a gift in early November, it will still be available for a return in January. I would say within the first week or two in January is your sweet spot, your safe spot. If you wait any longer, you might run into trouble.
Okay. Is there a good time of day to go in store? Because I've definitely gone in, seen a line, said, oh, not worth it, turn around and left.
Yeah, that's a great question, actually. The week between Christmas and New Year's is the worst week, because that's when everyone's rushing back to get their returns done, and you'll find long lines and frustrated salespeople. So my advice would be the first week of January. That is the very best time. And in the middle of the day, if you have a comp day that you can take and things will be a little bit slower and more quiet, you'll have a much more pleasant returning experience if you do it during that time.
Do you have any tips if we're returning something online?
Yes, and so every retailer has their own rules, so really important to take a look and see what they offer. Maybe they'll give you a store credit, maybe they'll give you a credit back to your credit card. They may give you a shipping label for free. You may have to pay for shipping. So all of these things that you have to keep in mind when you make your return. It's really important to familiarize yourself in general.
And last question, if you miss the return window, are you out of options?
Thankfully not. So there are a lot of great resale sites where you can sell your products. So for instance, MPB, which is a site that I work with, they specialize in cameras in videography equipment. So if you received a camera for Christmas, but it's not the brand you want, maybe you already have something, you can sell it back to them for cash or trade it in if there's a piece of equipment that you prefer to get. And there are resale sites for all sorts of things like laptops and clothing, so you can go that route, and that's a great way to get cash back. And then the other thing I would suggest is re-gifting. If you have an item that's in great shape and it's just not your taste, put it away on a shelf for safekeeping and save it for someone else. And then the last thing I would say is host a post-holiday gift swap. Something that didn't suit you might suit a friend. Just be very careful that you're not swapping an item that they gave you.
Yes.
But gift swaps are a lot of fun after the holidays.
All right, great tips. Trey, thank you so much for your guidance.
Thanks for having me.